if you as an entrepreneur, as a business, and it's not just you as an entrepreneur, your team must know this. Anyone who's working within your organization, if you understand the value that you're offering your clients, then you will put in place a structure to ensure that value is passed along. When it comes to structuring your business, if you are all the value in your business, then it is not a business. You are like you are self-employed, and that's problematic, isn't it? For those who have raised their hand, doesn't it feel like you are like an employee? There's no freedom in that. You feel like, if I don't show up to work, nothing happens. By God's grace, the end of this session, we will try and free you from that so that you can be able to grow your business and build from that perspective. The value that you offer your customers is not the same thing as the product or service that you offer your customer. Let me say that again, because I know it passed by and somebody didn't quite notice. The value that you offer your customers is not the same thing as the products and services that you offer your customers. Okay? So if we begin to understand value, then we structure the business to maintain the offering of value to your customer. Because people come to your business, they come to you for value. They use your products and services for the value that they bring to us. So if we can map out that value, then we ensure that in the whole process that they're engaging with us as customers, they are receiving value. And then you'll be making sure that you are investing in the resource that will continuously produce that value. Hey, let's try this out. So as you can see, it has two elements to it. On the right-hand side is the profile of your customer, okay? On the left, that's the circle. On the left-hand side is a square, and it depicts the value that you're offering your customer, okay? And so it's useful to start off with understanding who your customer is, all right? Excellent. So let's now look at this. When the customer comes to you, there are, and you can write this down, on the right-hand side there, you'll see there are specific jobs the customer is trying to do. There are jobs, okay? So let's describe what those jobs are. So you can write this down under jobs. They are functional jobs, okay? So functional jobs are, I need fuel, okay? Or I need oil, I'm going to get oil and put it in my car. Or I need something from the convenience store, I need my car serviced, I need it washed. Functional, those are functional jobs, okay? Number two, there are social jobs. What does that mean? What is the effect on that customer of passing through a Rubis branded fuel station that affects their social side? Touching on that social element, that you're going to probably run into people that are similar to you, you're going through that same. There's the emotional side, emotional jobs as well. Emotional jobs. What does that mean? How do you feel in that environment? You feel safe, you feel high end, you feel that your car is going to be treated well, you feel various things. So those are the jobs the customer is trying to do. Now watch this, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I wanted to explain, that the customer is not just coming for the product. Because as we have heard just now from Victoria, there possibly was another outlet that was closer to them along the road, but they chose to pass those outlets and come to the Rubis that was there, not just because of fuel, but because of all these other elements that we're putting in place. So you as an entrepreneur really need to understand what are the jobs that the customer is trying to do. So you can write them down again, those three elements. There's a functional job, fuel, or oil, or car wash, or all those things. Then there's social and emotional. Social, what does it make you, where does it place you in society? What does it do in that space? And then there's the emotional. Pain relievers. Hey, pain relievers. They deal with the pains that we have outlined. The pain relievers, they are the ones that just deal with those pains. First of all, I am trying to avoid being fuelless. So that idea that, okay, I know the last couple of months have been very difficult, but they were difficult across the board. But there was there was a petrol station near where I live, where it was hit or miss if there's fuel. You know, you come and you just ask, just in case. And it's because it's the closest to where we are, as we're trying to get from our house to the main road. You know, one day you might find fuel, one day you might not find fuel. So when you see a place like this where you know there, unless there's a national fuel crisis, you're going to find fuel. Pain relief. There, unless I don't know what, in fact, it has never happened, you're not going to find in many of these big brands adulterated fuel. If I come into that place, I will not have to stop for fuel and then go find somewhere else to get coolant or get oils or get whatever it is. I'll find what I need, pain relievers. Gains or gain creators, that sense of ambience, the service that is being given. Gain creators are the ones, how they'll build those benefits. There's service that is being given at a certain level, quality products that are there, variety of products that are going to be there. Do you see now how you're matching your customer profile to who you are and as a business? Now, what you must do is not think that all I need to do is to have all these products and services and not understand what that customer is coming to you for. If you have understood that, now you're going to build that. When you have a customer like Vivian saying, I need somebody to assist me on that, on the fuel, on the pressure, air pressure, that means something. So maybe just to have a look, if you see a customer going there, can we have somebody who can quickly go and assist? It will make a difference. That person is more likely to come back to your fuel service station. So you're building relationships as we go across the board. You don't train your team effectively to produce the product, the service the way that you want them to produce it. What do you have as a team member in the chat box? What kind of team member is that if they are improperly trained? Because of this fear, what kind of team member do you have? If you have not trained them, you have not given them, you have not empowered them to do the job the way you want, what kind of team member is that? An incompetent person. So what level, remember we started this discussion today about delivery of value. That's what we started off. And if we understand what that means along that production chain, if we understand that the value that Karen is bringing is her conversational skills, it is not just the fact that she's able to tell you which colors, where the places are. If you want shirts, they're over there. If you want, see, then just put up signs, like a supermarket. You just put up a sign and say, shirts here, this here. But what Karen does is she's like, how are you doing? What can I help you with? And she's learning about you. So the process is you learn from the customer, you try, you memorize, train your team members well enough so they can leave. So they can actually leave and go and do other things. Train them well enough so they can leave, but treat them well enough so that they can stay. What does that mean? If somebody has brought themselves up to that level, they need to see as a human being, how am I going to grow? The person is leaving, not necessarily because they don't like the environment. Maybe that's a big issue that you're going to have. The person is leaving because I want to grow as a human being. They have ambitions. They have goals for themselves as well. And so it is our role as entrepreneurs to build the business such that it is able to support those needs in our team members. Here's a few things that we need to learn as well, even in that journey. I feel like I have to add this. It's not part of the presentation, but I want you to hear this. So some wisdom in the hiring process. One of the things that happens is if you hire an employee and you're paying them almost the maximum that job can be able to sustain, then there's no space for you to negotiate over time. So you want to make sure that as you're hiring, the pay grade that you're getting into allows for growth over time. Because human beings, all of us, aren't we looking to grow and build wealth? Isn't that the aim that we're trying to do? So even your employee, please remember that your employee has a big heart. Your employee has a big heart themselves. They want to grow. So put yourself in their shoes. They will want a pay rise after some period of time. So if you start with the highest level, which you can't be able to grow beyond that point, then you're going to find yourself in that place. So start with a pay that will give you space for you to be able to grow over time. Okay? Find what is your unique value proposition that you're offering into the world and do your best in that same space. I think if we go into business just simply worried about competition, then we're going to lose on that process. I've been enjoying a documentary series. I'm a huge basketball fan. Well, I used to be when Michael Jordan was playing. And so there's a documentary series on Netflix at the moment about Michael Jordan. It's called The Last Dance. And in it, he's the most successful basketball player ever. The wealthiest so far is a billionaire based on the brand that he built over a period of time. And probably one of the most respected athletes globally. Yeah? He's not playing basketball anymore, and he's still one of the highest paid athletes that's in the world. So in the documentary, it says that somebody was mentioning that he has said it himself. I don't worry, I don't spend, why would I spend time worrying about a shot I've never taken? And there was a psychologist on the documentary, and he was just saying about how many people don't grow in their area of interest, in their area of business, because they're so fearful. Fear is driving that attitude. And he's saying those people who have found success don't fear things that have not yet occurred. They don't spend mental energy worrying about things that have not happened. And in the moment that they happen, adjust and work around it so that you're focused a lot more on that same process mapping. And anybody who thinks that they cannot be able to do a certain job or somebody in their team is unable to do it, I challenge you, train them first by putting down, once a customer comes in, this is how you greet them, this is what you do, and then train them. Karen, I would suggest specifically for you that you go into, when you're training your team member, don't just train them and tell them what to do. No, let them follow you, and see as you train, as you deal with a customer, because they will see the experience and get a picture of it, of what you're going through.